Hi, I'm Mark Weiss, and this is Fraud on Fridays. In 1849, the prospectors, referred to as the 49ers, had to cross a continent to get to California to mine and pan for gold. The organizers of the scheme, referred to as Operation Gold Rush, just needed a list of U.S. DME companies for sale while they stayed outside of the country. On April 7, 2026, federal prosecutors in the Eastern District of New York unsealed an indictment charging 11 members of a transnational criminal organization based in significant part in Russia with orchestrating what the DOJ is now calling the largest healthcare fraud scheme, with $10.6 billion in fraudulent Medicare claims. These were for DME, durable medical equipment. Here's how the scheme is alleged to have worked. The organization bought DME companies that already had the necessary Medicare billing approvals in place. Upon acquisition, the organization allegedly installed foreign nationals as the nominee owners, paper figures who appeared on corporate records to control the companies, but who in fact answered to the organization's foreign-based leadership. Then the billing started. With control of dozens of enrolled DME companies, the defendants allegedly submitted over $10.6 billion in false and fraudulent Medicare claims via stealing the identities and personal identifying information of more than 1 million Americans in all 50 states. To hide the true nature of the operation and to extract the funds, the government alleges that the organization then engaged in substantial money laundering activities, giving illegally gained funds the appearance of being legitimate commercial activity and cleaning them through U.S. banks before moving them off to overseas accounts. But here's where things get a little bit interesting in this story. The government, CMS and HHS's OIG, to their considerable credit, caught the scam. Medicare's fraud detection systems identified and blocked the vast majority of the fraudulent claims before payment. Medicare directly paid approximately $41 million of the $10.6 billion in claims submitted. The defendants had, however, found a softer target running alongside the main program, Medicare supplemental insurers, the private plans that wrap around Medicare coverage. Those insurers paid out an estimated $900 million to the scamsters. The case was part of the DOJ's 2025 National Healthcare Fraud Takedown, announced alongside 323 other defendants across 50 federal districts in connection with over $14.6 billion in alleged fraud, the largest combined healthcare fraud enforcement action in U.S. history, more than doubling the prior record. Here are some takeaways for you. First, nominee ownership is not a creative business structure. It's a federal crime. If anyone has ever offered you money to appear as an owner, officer, or manager of a healthcare entity, you won't be running a DME company, a home health agency, a billing company, whatever. Treat that offer as the federal conspiracy invitation it is. Second, the $900 million paid by supplemental insurers is a detail worth understanding. Medicare's fraud detection infrastructure is substantial and in this case performed impressively. Private supplemental insurers operate with less sophisticated detection capabilities. Fraud schemes that can't beat Medicare's front door sometimes find the supplemental insurer window left wide open. If your practice has referral or billing arrangements tied to supplemental coverage, well, those relationships warrant the same compliance scrutiny you'd apply to a primary payer relationship. The secondary payer isn't a secondary concern. Third, and for broader context, The takedown that surrounded this case, 324 total defendants, 14.6 billion in alleged fraud, is not a routine sweep. It's a coordinated, record-breaking national action, and the message from DOJ isn't subtle. Stay tuned. There's always more fraud to unpack next Friday.